Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. Today we're going to cover a topic I get a lot of questions about. It's on your logs. Does my log have a time limit? Yes, it does. Come back and we're going to talk about several different species and what we saw in particular and what the timelines may be in your area. So we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. Like I said, the topic for today's video is, does my log have a time limit? And yes, every log that's on your yard has a time limit, but they vary drastically, okay? Today, Matthew and I are sawing white pine inventory. It's my logs that I bought and had them here available to sell, and they hadn't sold in a timely fashion. So we're pushing them all out as 1-inch boards for inventory. And the reason we're doing that is we have reached our time limit on that white pine log, okay? The majority of these logs were blown down during Hurricane Helene, September 24th. So we're what? Today's June, July, August. Yeah, they're at the most, they're 9 months. Now, I didn't get them till probably 3 months after the hurricane. The guy was doing the cleanup. He cleaned up all the down trees, and then they was many of them blown down. The homeowner had him just take them all out. So we got them all, and they're all at least 6 months old. Some of them are approaching 9 months old, the ones that got blown over. And that's pushing it for white pine. I'm really surprised we hadn't seen any degradation already. Degradation being either a lot of blue staining or pine beetles. Pine beetles getting your white pine in a hurry. Now, where they were stacked, they wasn't in the direct sun. They were in a kind of a damp environment up against that red bank. And that seems to prolong it a little bit. You set them out in the hot sun, let them dry out, and the pine beetles just go to town on them. So a shady, a little more damp spot seems to be better for your pine species. I wouldn't recommend that for your hardwoods. And you can go back and check our playlist. We've got what happens to my logs when we age it. We covered everything we cut, and we're constantly adding stuff. And this is not about aging your log. This is just kind of the opposite. How long can I wait before I saw it? Now, on this white pine species, I normally recommend to go with the seasons. If it was cut over winter, from like October, November, you got up until hot weather. And we're in hot weather now. And that's why we're cutting it now. And then anything that's cut right now, being May, June, July, you've got until cold weather. Now, once we get into October, November, then all of the current inventory that's coming in now needs to be gone. And that's kind of the way I rotate my pine, is by the season. If it was cut in cold weather, I want to get it gone before we get into too hot weather. If it was cut in hot weather, I want to get it gone before we go over winter. And that just keeps you on a cycle. Now, poplar is about the same. I actually burnt some poplar the other day that had been here too long. Most of it probably been here a year, and poplar will go doty on you. It'll get brittle. The log itself will still look good, but the lumber quality goes downhill real quick. I'd lump poplar and white pine, yellow pine kind of in the same category. You need to rotate that inventory pretty quick. Now, hardwood species here in the South, that may be different where you live. Colder climate, hotter climate, drier climate, whatever. But here in the South, I've sawed oak logs we've had for 2 or 3 years. Yes, you'll get some more bug infestation. You'll lose some of the cambium layer, but the bulk of the log itself is still good. Depending on what you want, I still recommend it to cut it as fresh as you can, but I keep my hardwoods, you know, until I need them, because they're still good lumber there. Now you may go from a clean #1 grade to a #2 grade because you got a lot of bug and wormholes in it, but I like those. They make the wood look different, so just bear that in mind. But like I say, today's video is about sawing this white pine. What have we seen as far as degradation? A little bit of blue staining and a couple logs. I mean, about it. I was really surprised. I have not seen the first sign of a pine beetle, which is amazing.
I've seen pine beetles. I haven't seen them actually eating into it.
Right. I hadn't seen any pine beetles eating it. But this wood has also been wet. Up there where we've had it in that corner, it gets a lot of damp. Been a wet winter, that helped. If you go to a big lumber mill, when they stack up their logs, most of the time they're either in a radial pile or a big long pile, and they actually put sprinklers on their wood. And they don't do that just for the fun of it. They do that to keep the wood moist, to make it saw better, you know, to mimic it being fresh cut green. And the moisture keeps down the bug infestation. So given the choice of a little over damp or a little over dry, your pine needs to stay damp, and that will help you. So in today's video, we're gonna do some sawing. That's what we're here to do, saw. But I wanted to cover this topic of, does my log have a time limit? And yes, they do. And that's why we're caught up, which is an amazing thing for Matthew and I. For this week anyway. We're caught up on our customer work, so we're getting to this government work of sawing our inventory, because it needs done. And it'll help us in the kiln process, because our kiln's backed up for 2 months now, maybe 3. So this will have plenty of time to air dry, so when we go into the kiln, it will be a lot lower moisture content and it'll cycle through real quick. We don't often get to do that, but we're going to with this. And as soon as we get done with this, I may do another video on yellow pine, forest pine, Virginia pine, because we've got 3 big bundles of that out there, and we need to do the same thing. It's time to go through it, cut the bulk of it into inventory. I got a couple specific things I want to cut out of it to be different, and we'll cover that in that video. But today, what do we got? Probably 75 of these, maybe 100 altogether. Probably. So we got a bunch of them to go through. Most of them we're going to cut at 12 feet if they'll make a good 12-foot log. It seems to be a good seller size around here. We'll probably finish up with some 8 or 10 footers, whatever won't make good 12s. It's just a lot of work, guys. I buy a lot of logs, get logs coming in all the time. So it's a constant process of, you know, rolling the inventory, trying to get it in, get it gone without too much degradation. You definitely don't want to buy logs and then have to burn them because they just rotted on you. That defeats the whole purpose. That's worse than not having them. So enough talking. Let's get everything fired up. The goal for today is to make 3 sizes. I want as many 10.5s as we can get, because that's kind of a primo board. If it won't make a 10.5, we'll step back to an 8.5. If it won't make a good 8.5, we'll make a 6.5. And if it won't make a 6.5, we may set it over here to the side, and at the end, we'll stack them up and make stickers. So we always got to have plenty of stickers. Especially when you're cutting inventory, you'll go through thousands and thousands of stickers real quick. So enough talking. Let's get doing a little sawing, and I'll probably try to stop and explain, you know, based on size, log diameter, what I'm going to try to achieve out of that log. So let's get to it. Okay, guys, so I got the log loaded. Now, I'm gonna turn the laser on. Get everything here out of the way. Bring it down here. Kind of take a look at it. That's about a good clean flitch cut. I don't know if you can see the laser line. Now my goal for this log is I'd like to get 8.5 inch wide boards. What do you think, Matthew? Stick your tape measure on there. I can eyeball it from here. It looks like it'll clear at 8.5 from the bottom. Put your thumb where 8.5 is. Yeah, see? That should do it right there. Now there'll be some waste, but if you cut it to where you got no waste, you'll be lucky to get a 6.5 inch board. So we'll cut the top, then I'm gonna roll it all the way over and either cut it right down to 8.5 or one board above 8.5. So that's the goal for this one. Let's turn the blower on and make it happen. Okay, Matthew rolled the flitch off. I'm gonna drop my front toe board, grab the log turner, give it a quick rotate. I see trash that went up under it, so I'm gonna raise the toe board and let Matthew get the trash out from under it. Got to keep an eye out on that with loose bark logs. You'll get trash up underneath it, and that'll really, you'll wonder why your cut's not equal. Well, it wasn't sitting flat on the deck. So I'm gonna grab a light clamp on it. It don't have to be excessive. Got a lot of weight holding it down. Come back over here. I'm gonna turn on my computer as soon as I see my laser. Now I'm gonna set it to a pattern that is at 8.5. Okay, that's a board, but not a good one. That'll be one good flitch, one good board underneath this top flitch. Okay, Matthew to kick that one off. Now we're cutting at 1 1/16 cut. I'm gonna come back, drop down one. That'll put me right on my 8.5 number for the cant. Matthew will take this one and put it in his split pile to be edged. Okay, I'm going to turn my computer off, pull the head back. Now I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. I'm still learning whether I like the claw or just the log, or the log turner or just the clamp. Sometimes the clamp's quicker, sometimes the log turner's quicker. Okay, Matthew doesn't give me a thumbs up. He likes where that was at. I'm gonna put my computer on the auto down for 1 1/16, and I'm probably gonna need to come back and take one cut, get all the bark off of it. Actually, that was pretty good right there. So I'm gonna cut 2 keepers, and then we're gonna turn it over. Now this white pine, I don't worry about boxing the heart. White pine's an excellent heart species. You cut right through it, and you'll not have any problem. As long as it's solid. Now, if you open it up and it's got a heart crack, well, you can't use it. You got to get rid of it. Matthew's grabbing stickers, so while he's doing that, I'm just going to go ahead and make another cut. This is where the DCS computer really shines, because I'm using the auto down function, which is, it don't care where I just start on a number and it drops down whatever I tell it to, versus the pattern mode. Okay, now roll this over. Now this is where it's easier to use the log turner. See how that log rolled the wrong way? There we go. I'll set it back down. Drop all my log dogs so I don't cut any more of them off. I don't want to do that. Got a good clamp on it. We'll pull down till I see my laser on the wood. Now this time I'm going to go to a pattern cut, and it's an 1 16. Now that puts me on a number that'll cut even boards right to the deck. This first one may have a little mark on it, but we'll make it a 6.5 out of it. That's it. I've already gotten used to how fast this 70 is. Kind of take it for granted already, but I try to remember walking with my 35 how slow it was at times. This white pine is probably some of the most difficult wood we saw here in the southeast, because the wood itself is super soft, but the knots are extremely hard, and this 55,000 1.5 blade just goes through them like no problem. You still can overdo it, especially if your blade starts getting a little dull, but see very little problems with cut quality. Here's one issue I have with this mill still, is that log clamp right there. I'm about 20 feet away from it, and it's hard to tell if I'm at 3/4 of an inch, 7/8 of an inch, or over an inch. What I normally do is right here, I just get it out of the way. There's enough weight right there to hold that stack of boards down. Just enter a little slowly and then push your way through it. Matthew's attention. There you go. I had him go ahead and turn everything off. Okay, guys. Okay, not to work Matthew too hard. I'm gonna go over here and help him stack all these boards. We'll get these stacked up. We'll look at the quality at this age, and that's what we're interested in, is at 7-8 months old, what's our lumber quality like? Okay, let me grab our Milwaukee blower. You'll take a closer look at it, Matthew. I couldn't ask for any better, guys. This is down just a little bit in moisture, probably sitting on top of the pile a little bit, but as far as quality of lumber, it's excellent. I don't see any issues. Don't see any discoloration. Don't see anything, you know. I'm happy. It's much better than anticipated. I was getting worried. We've been so busy this summer. I wanted this gone 2 months ago, and we just couldn't get to it. Or it ain't summer really, it's just now in the early summer. But, you know, we were busy sawing customer stuff, so now we're sawing ours. And there's nothing wrong with this. It's aged just perfectly. because of where it was at. If it had been sitting out here in the bright sunlight, drying out every day, it would probably be full of pine beetles. It's just the way it goes.
But that gives you wormy white pine.
And if that's what you want, then wormy white pine is beautiful. If you got a market for it, and every piece we've ever had, we've sold. But this was too pretty to let it go wormy. I would suggest taking a smaller pile, a couple thousand feet, put it over there, let it go wormy, and try it. But this was probably 5,000 to 6,000 feet, maybe more. It was a bunch of it, and I didn't want that much of it going wormy. And yes, there is a market for the wormy, but there's a bigger market for me for the clean white pine, whether it be for the exterior wallboard or what most of these are going to be, tongue and groove, V-groove. And I didn't want to pigeonhole myself into that little niche market where this has a broader market. So you have to figure that out on your own. Anything you want to add to this, Matthew? Fighting bugs already? Hadn't seen any ants in this too. That's a good thing. Besides the one Matthew just found on him. But yeah, the topic for the day was, does my log have a time limit? And this does, and we've reached it, and it's time to get it out of here. Could it go another couple months after what I've seen? Yeah, but we got time this week, and that was the goal, is to move all these white pine out of here, get every one we've got cut, and we'll restart our timer from whatever starts coming in from the day forward, because all this will be gone. Same thing with my yellow pine. I got 3 big piles up there, probably 15,000 board feet if we sawed it all today. Yeah, and it needs cycled through so that I can buy more fresh for customer use. We'll put all this into inventory. We sell a lot of kiln dried inventory. So I hope this helps, guys. If you got any questions on your aging your logs, it's just something you're going to have to learn in your area. I got a buddy out in Utah, Craig Kilter. Check out the Kilted Sawyer if you get a chance. His climate is completely different. I forget what elevation he's at in Utah, but it's way up there. And most of what he saws is dry pretty much from the instant he opens it up, because their relative humidity is so low. We're not used to that around here. This is probably 40%, and it's been cut for 6 months, 8 months. They don't do it out there. So bear in mind, what I'm telling you is be a little different in your area, whether you're hotter, colder, more humid, less humid, arid environment. What I tell you won't make any difference. It won't help you out in Arizona, because it's a completely different ballgame. So you have to learn your area. But yes, every log has a time limit, and it's imperative on you and me as sawyers to learn that time limit and learn how to keep up with it in your own way, so you know it's time, hey, that log's got to go. If nobody's bought it, then you got to take ownership of it and saw something out of it you think you can sell at a later date, whether that's 1-inch boards, 2-inch boards, slabs, whatever. We did that a couple weeks ago with maple. We had a big pile of maple up here on the hill. That video you've probably already seen. And it had aged out. Some of it had been 6 months, some of it had been a year, and we knew that if we didn't get that wood down here and saw it, that the wood quality was going to go downhill real quick. But we aged it intentionally to take it from yellow maple to a spalted / ambrosia maple, and it had reached that point, so it was time to go. So, big shout out to Wood Mizer. Can't thank them enough. Like I say, you need blades, equipment, give Joe Maine a call. He'll be glad to help you out. Thanks to Matthew and Solomon doing our videos. Get a chance, check out Solomon's channel, Third Beard Fishing. Anything you want to add, Matthew?
We're selling inventory because people don't want to wait.
Yeah, that's one thing you have to adjust in your sawmill business, is how much inventory you need. Because I had a guy call me this morning wanting 2x12s. I'm like, dude, I don't keep 2x12s laying around. I cut them fresh when you want them. So, people don't want to plan ahead. I tell people in a nice way, I'm not Lowe's. I can't keep every size and dimension that you could ever want. And Lowe's don't. If you walk into Lowe's today and say, I need a cedar 8x8, 14-foot long, they don't have it. But they'll go over in their catalog and they'll find a local manufacturer that they deal with that'll make them, and they'll get you one. And they'll pay that I need it bad price for it, okay? But you can't keep everything. Figure out what sells in your market. We sell a lot of this tongue and groove V-groove because we have our widening molder. So anything that we can't move through the process green or sell to a customer to cut to the dimensions they specifically want, this is usually what it's going to end up with, because we need a lot of this. And if we have it cut, ready to dry, that takes a couple weeks off the timeline. If we have it dry already, that takes it down to, okay, we'll try to run that for you next week, because we already have it in inventory and we just set the machine up and go to running. Next few videos will be running the winding, because we got a lot of stuff in the kiln that comes out, it's got to get run, and we're reloading it with a bunch of stuff that's got to get run. So as always, guys, we appreciate each and every one of you watching. We've picked up so many new subscribers. I wish I had a list where I could send y'all a thank you. YouTube don't quite make it easy for me to see who's subscribing, but I see you when you comment, and I appreciate it, guys. If you're wanting a hat, check out beardedlumbernc.com. I actually had one of my buddies buy a hat last night, so we appreciate you doing that. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.